Prime creator of all that is, has us here. Many ask why. What is my purpose? Why am I here? Some, out of frustration, even say, what's the point? As we mature on our life journey, it becomes evident to many of us that our purpose is to learn, to grow, and to love. It is a soul journey in a skin suit, and we have been given many tools by which to accomplish this development of ourselves. For most among us, it is our purpose to become all that we can become, given the tools and assets of our human condition. Teaching old dogs new tricks is a metaphor that, to me, means it is more difficult to shift from what we think we know to being open to learning something new and acting accordingly. It's a choice. Our training and conditioning are not viable excuses for staying stuck in a job, in just doing what I was told, or even clinging to comfort in lieu of stretching one's comfort zone. Our spirit, a lust for life and its adventures, for learning, for stretching healthy boundaries, our passions, these are what gives life zest and meaning. Questioning is a critically important element for practicing our discernment. Some fail to question out of fear, fearful that if they ask questions, they may not like the answers, fearful they might have to think differently or change directions, end a relationship, lose their job, or not work altogether. When there is discomfort or resistance in asking a question or confronting a different idea or way of perceiving, rather than shunning or acquiescing, embracing the new notion signals a shift in our awareness, a possible challenge and growth that might ensue when embraced rather than denied. In this miraculous time of shifting consciousness, it is the new imperative to question old ideas, discern, and embrace. New ideas for old dogs are as critical for our soul growth as are the curiosities and explorations of the developing child. Let ourselves be curious, be willing to ask questions, to change and explore. Let it be so. This is a notice and demand from the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Notice to principal is notice to the agent. Notice to the agent is notice to the principal. And the cause number is 0822-2025, notice defining terms. Jura Summa Imperii, page 701, volume 1, Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 1856. Sovereign, page 589, volume 2, Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 1856. In the United States, the sovereignty resides in the body of the people. We, you, and I, have the rights of sovereignty or supreme dominion. Most of us are stuck in the de facto. We have been educated with MK Ultra since 1947, when the Attorneys Treaty, the United Nations, and other infringements were started, thus moving the seat of power to the United States of Washington, District of Columbia, Inc., in some form of de facto since 1861. A double down in 1913 and again in 1933 with Project Paperclip, the Nazis, jihadists, socialists, communists, et al. Are not Article 4, Section 4, not the McCarran-Walters Act of 1952 and 65, and not the constitutional Republican form of government. Did you get 5 years of education in the Constitution starting no later than the 8th grade? You and we all know that ORS has been long ignored. What we do have is not good, while the current form of the Salem oligarchy continues to run its course. It has failed and we are no longer deceived. There are over 200 United Nations members, most of whom are monarchs or presidents of their countries for life. We have the 1871 de facto version going on here in the United States right now. Currently, We have the DJT version of martial law, Libra Code FEMA. It is just changing the de facto again. They do not want to go anywhere near Jural, except us on Oregon. Jural means by right, by law, by all of our unalienable rights guaranteed by our constitutions circa 1859. This is from Bouvier's Law Dictionary, page 701, volume 1, 6th edition, 1856. Black's Law Dictionary changed the definition of jure to align with the de facto. Facto means in fact, in contradiction to the lawfulness of the thing, end quote. From Bouvier's Law Dictionary, page 517, volume 1, 6th edition, 1856. Here, as well, Blacks changed the definition to align with the de facto. De facto, in Black's dictionary, is illegal and illegitimate. That's a quote. Page 416, volume 1, 6th edition. Jure in Black's, quote, is lawful and constitutional, end quote. The fact that neither definition exists in Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 1856, indicates that the de facto government didn't come into existence until circa 1871. Our de facto on Oregon is a fact of fraud, as evident by Article 7 amended in our Oregon Constitution, circa 1910. The entire Salem oligarchy continued with Kate Brown acting as governor, who was responsible for requesting the FBI and was in direct control of the Oregon State Police. To discourage discovery of their dirty deals regarding Uranium One and the BLM land grab water rights issue, they murdered Lavoie, then buried the tragic loss of a man standing with fellow ranchers on his way to negotiate a peaceful resolution. The Salem legislature exonerated the killers and shooters in the Oregon State Police. Thereafter, they shut us out of our legislature's proceedings. What ensued on January 21, 2021, was one of a series of due process violations. Tina Kotek was Speaker of the House at the time. She has no honor and may not hold a position of trust. The judiciary on Oregon, the Supreme Court, and their counsel acquiesced and defaulted twice. Article 7 amended is fraud upon the people. Look up Wally Carson from decades past. The Constitution Party. Milt Mitchick, an Oregonian who spent much time researching and traveling Oregon to create the important revealing booklet Vultures, republished at our website, www.orsja.org. This is where you can also find our Oregon de jure Journal newspapers, Bouvier's Dictionary, 6th edition, our instruments, documents that are signed, sealed, stamped, witnessed with proof of service, and published. You can also find us on 3CTV Weekly, YouTube, and Brighteon. Read, learn, respond. Thank you for listening.
Anthony Devine. Sheriff, one and all, the ball is in your court. We kicked it into your jurisdiction, which is separate from ours. Alas, it really is one team, you and us. It is, or rather should be, one jurisdiction. Your training, probably from childhood, has been to join the realm of the corporate jurisdiction, which is the entity that pays you to do what you do. You can join our team, that of the people, with a simple turn of mind switch. A tool to assist in this process is to consider taking a proper oath to the proper constitution with this original jurisdiction and with the laws of nature and of our nature's God, as stated in the Constitution. The last several months, we have posted and made publicly available what we consider a proper oath for the persons in our governance. Sheriffs are our first effort at insisting on a proper oath, but it is the sheriffs who are in their county position to protect and defend the people from ticketing or sending people to the illegitimate amended Article 7 courts that should not be, from governance, overreach, and taxation that takes seniors' equity, their forever home, and all they possess by enforcing conviction. It's like a switch in the mind and one's understanding. The switch is the recognition of one's allegiance to life and that which is God-given. Rather than criminalizing living God-made beings for a dead corporate entity, our shares are our first protection against governance overreach. Taking a solemn oath is needed for there to be remedy in our authoritative system of governance. Once a sheriff can make the switch, can see themselves as one with the people rather than a corporate entity meant to enforce our compliance to the bidding of the state, there will be greater freedom, cooperation, and peace. Let it be so. I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.